Welcome back. My intention had been to review these games once the first two were done, but because of the way that the doubleheader was set up, this one started late. I didn't have the chance. So we're going to review all 10 of them, this board here, and then two boards behind it. All right, so we're going to start things off with the Oilers and the Caps. So it's Pickard at one end, Lindgren at the other. Early press by the Oilers. There's an oops by Pickard, but he holds onto the puck after, so he turned it over, but he recovered it. The Oilers draw a power play. There's an early cycle, and then at 1:42, Draisaitl buries a one-timer. Nugent-Hopkins and McDavid with the assists. So it's 1-0 Oilers early. Skinner then has a fast break chance that's defended. The shots are 3 apiece at 3 minutes. Not a very Washington-like total there. Strome has a chance that's held as the Capitals get some pressure. Eller has a turnover chance that's held. Ovechkin's then denied. The team's trade rushes. Karlsson has a net feed that's picked off. The Oilers press. They're kept to the outside. Bouchard fires one wide. The Caps are blocking the path to the net at that stage of the game. Ekholm has a 2-on-1 shot that's kicked aside. There's a near miss for Jacob Chychrun on a rush. Teams trade turnovers. Mangiapane has a one-timer that's held. And then at 17:15, Wilson buries a rebound from the left circle. Dubois and Roy with the assists. It's a 1-1 tie. The Oilers look to respond. Things get pushy and punchy and a hold by Pickard, so the Caps go to the power play with 1:51 left. There's a shorthanded rush by Kapanen, but the puck goes the other way, and at 19:36, on a point shot past a screen, Chychrun gets his 17th of the season. Wilson and Strome with the assist. The Capitals with a 2-1 lead. With 11.6 seconds left, the Oilers get a power play, so that rolls over into the second period. The Oilers set up, they cycle, the Caps finish the kill, they rush after. The Oilers go right back to the power play, they cycle, the Caps clear the puck out. Bouchard has a slapper that's saved, it's cleared, power play's killed off, and the Caps rush again when that penalty kill is done. Caps press at 5 minutes, McDavid to Kapanen gets picked off. The Oilers press at 6.5 minutes, Dubois has a slot shot that deflects wide. Arvidsson has a rush chance that's held. There's some pushing, and then at 8:53, goal number 880 for Ovechkin. Strome and Protas with the assist, and this is from the slot on a rush. The Caps then look for another. They're up 3-1. They've got the momentum, although the shots are 9-5 for the Oilers with 7.5 minutes left. The Caps press with 6.5 minutes left. 3:11 left. There's a power play for the Capitals. There's an early clear. The Caps cycle. Then there was a shorthanded rush by Kapanen. That gets saved. And then on a one-timer from his spot, Ovechkin gets goal number 881. Chychrun with the assist at 18:39. And then at 19:46, McMichael on a cross-crease pass buries one. Karlsson and Protas with the assists. It's 5-1 for the Capitals after 2. Third period, the Caps press at 3.5 minutes. They were really in control of the game at that point. There's a near miss for Ovechkin. Puck's cleared out. The shots are 3-1 Edmonton at 5.5 minutes. And at 6:33, Nugent-Hopkins buries a loose puck to make it a 3-goal lead. Arvidsson and Hyman with the assists. Caps look to respond. Klingberg has a one-timer that's held as the Oilers get some pressure. There's more pressure by the Oilers at 9.5 minutes. But at 10:38, Dylan Strome buries a rebound to extend the lead again for the Capitals. Protas and Karlsson with the assists. Caps look for another. Ovechkin's denied on a turnover. And then on a wraparound off of a turnover, Jeff Skinner scores at 15:05. The Oilers pull the goalie with 2:56 left, and as soon as you pull the goalie, that means Ovechkin's going on the ice. He gets the empty netter for goal number 882. And that's at 17:22, makes it 7-3, and then you get OV chance to end the game. A huge 7-3 win for the Caps. So another 80s game. They scored 15 goals this weekend. 38-11-8 is the record for the Caps. The Oilers 34-19-4 on the season. Shots on net, 13-6 Washington in the first, 10-8 Edmonton in the second, 12-9 Washington in the third. Final shots 33-25 for the Capitals. Power plays, the Oilers 1 for 3. The Caps scored on both of their power plays. The hits 16-15 for Edmonton. Pickard saves 27 out of 33. Charlie Lindgren 22 saves on 25 shots. And the other game on this board is the Rangers in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. Shesterkin versus Bloomquist. The Rangers press at 2 minutes. The only shot on net is for the Rangers at 3.5 minutes. Compared to this game had some more quiet times in the game than this one here. First whistle doesn't happen until 5:24, so this game also was going quickly because, they delayed the puck drop. The Rangers press are kept to the outside. Beauvillier to Crosby, near miss there. The Rangers press at 9 minutes. The shots are 4-2 Pittsburgh at the half. TOR-CHI has a rush chance that's saved. There's some more pressure by the Penguins, and they score. Malkin tips one and close to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh. Glass and Heinen with the assists at 12:53. Grzelcyk is down. Rempe goes to the box for boarding. Initially, they gave it a 5-minute call. They reduced it to 2 minutes, and they called it interference. So Grzelcyk would leave the game. He did not come back, and Rempe just gets the 2 minutes there. There's an early clear on that power play. The Pens then cycle. There's a shorthanded rush by Riley Smith. That saved. Power play's killed off. 1 shot on net. And then with 2:19 left, the Rangers get a turn on the power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that's defended. There's another clear by the Penguins. But then on a 3-on-2 rush on the power play, Will Cooley gets the power play marker. Keandre Miller and Riley Smith with the assists at 19:12. So it's a 1-1 tie after 1. Second period, Hayes has a rush chance that's saved. The Penguins press at 1.5 minutes. The shots are 2-0 Pittsburgh, 3.5 minutes in. Glass is denied as the Penguins pressure some more. There's a near miss for Crosby. The Rangers are getting pinned down here. In fact, we get a power play for Pittsburgh, one of the more predictable power plays today because the Rangers just couldn't get the puck out of their zone. Bunting's denied on a rebound. Shesterkin holds on there. They cycle. Puck's cleared out. There's a near miss for Tomasino, and then another clear by the Rangers ends that power play. The Penguins press at 7.5 minutes. Good forechecking by the Penguins, and Shesterkin's the reason this game's tied. Huge bounce back after a rough game for him yesterday. The shots are 14-0, 9.5 minutes in for the Penguins. 14-0. So it's Shesterkin against the Penguins at that point. Pittsburgh draws a power play. They cycle. Carlson has a shot that's held. That power play ends up being killed off. We go 16 minutes between shots for the New York Rangers. Long stretch, just nothing. Not even a look at the net for them. Lafreniere then has a chance that's held. Crosby has a rush chance that's held at the other end. And then on a turnover rush, JT Miller scores to give the lead to the New York Rangers. Adam Fox with the assist at 17 minutes. Penguins look to respond. They get some pressure in the final minute. But in the most Pittsburgh way possible, they outshoot a team 31-9 through 2 periods, and they're down 2-1. This is Pittsburgh's luck this year. Third period, early press by New York, but at 57 seconds from the high slot, Shea scores. He gets a goal from Malkin and Carlson. Penguins then press for the lead, and they get it at 3:31. The puck deflects off Keandre Miller into the net. Shea gets the goal from Crosby and Hayes. So Pittsburgh suddenly has a 3-2 lead. And the shots have been heavily in their favor the whole game. That's probably the right way for things to go. But at 4:21, VC roofs one from the top of the circle to tie the game at 3. Trocheck and Lindgren with the assists. That's the 100th NHL goal for Jimmy Vesey in his career. Kudos to him for reaching that mark. Rangers press for the lead. The shots are 4-2 for New York at 7 minutes, meaning both shots for Pittsburgh have gone in the net. Lindgren has a shot that's held as the Rangers press, and then at 11:26, Adam Fox puts one through Blomqvist on a rush. Smith and Zibanejad with the assists, and yeah, you probably want to save there from Blomqvist. Glass gets shaken up. He stays on the bench. The Penguins press with 4.5 minutes left. Then during the 6-on-5 after the goalie's been pulled, Igor holds amidst a dog pile, and then the Rangers get the empty netter. JT Miller at 19:53 from Jimmy Vesey. The final score in this one, 5-3 for the Rangers. They go to 28, 25, and 4 with the win. The Penguins 23, 27, and 9 with the loss. It has been a rough season for the Penguins. Shots on net, 12-5 Pittsburgh in the first, 19-4 Pittsburgh in the second, and 8-7 Pittsburgh in the third. Final shots are 39-16 for the Penguins. Power plays, the Rangers scored on the only one they had. The Penguins go 0 for 3. The hits 29-11 for the Rangers because they never had the puck. Shesterkin saves 36 out of 39. Blomqvist, 11 saves on 15 shots. So the goaltending issues in Pittsburgh, still an issue. Let's go ahead and go to board number 2. All right, and now into the more standard boards for review. Anaheim in Detroit against the Wings. It was Dostal at one end, Line at the other. And, of course, it's going to be Dostal for a bit here for Anaheim because Gibson's hurt. Shots are 2-1 for the Ducks at 2.5 minutes. But at 3:11, Marco Kasper scores on a tip in close. Raymond with the assist. We get a power play for Detroit. In fact, it's a 5-on-3. And at 4:29, DeBrincat scores on the 5-on-3 from Larkin and Kane. And then at 5:06, it becomes 3-0 with a 5-on-4 goal. It's a wrister that deflects top corner from Patrick Kane, Sider, and Raymond with the assists. It's 3-0 for Detroit. And that's the fastest 3 goals to start a game, apparently, in the league this season. So, rough start for Anaheim. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The teams trade rushes. At 8:24, Ryan Strome buries a rebound and close. Terry and Vetrano with the assists. Gets Anaheim on the board. It's now 3-1. Ducks look for another. The Wings press with 8 minutes left. We get a post for DeBrincat. The Ducks cleared out, but it's 3-1 for Detroit after the first. Second period, there's an early press by Detroit. The Wings would draw a power play, and at 2:14, Confer puts one past the screen from in close. Gustafson with the assist. It's 4-1 in favor of Detroit. DeBrincat has a net feed that's picked off. The shots are 6-0 in favor of Detroit at 6 minutes. We get a crossbar for Berggren. And then at 7:04, Gauthier answers for Anaheim to make it 4-2. Lacombe and McTavish with the assist. The Wings press to respond. There's more pressure by them at 9 minutes. Wings with some pressure with 6.5 minutes left. Hall has a wraparound chance that's held. With 45 seconds left, the Ducks get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded breakaway by Confer. That's saved. Things get kind of punchy at the horn. It's 4-2 after 2 in favor of Detroit. Third period, shots are 1 apiece at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off, but it takes 2 minutes off the clock. The Ducks press at 8.5 minutes. A high stick on Berggren was not called. I believe it was Zegras that did that because he was getting booed a lot. Shots are 4 apiece with 8.5 minutes left. Veleno has a rush chance. That's saved. Teams are trading rushes. The hits are picking up a bit late in this one. The goalie pull happens, and the Ducks would call a timeout with 3 minutes left. And whatever they discussed seems to have worked. At 17:44, Zellweger scores to make it 4-3 from Carlson and Fabry. And then at 19:07, Gauthier, backhand, top shelf, unassisted, ties the game at 4. So Detroit, 2 days in a row that they've had a lead at home, and they've lost that lead, and the game's gone to overtime. The puck's gone to overtime. The game's gone to overtime. In the overtime, the Wings controlled early. Things get pushed in a hole by Dostal. Kane has a 2-on-1 chance that's saved. Lacombe misses an open net. The puck goes the other way, and Kane buries one on a breakaway. Marco Kasper with the assist at 4 minutes. So Detroit escapes with the win this time. They get the 2 points. They go to 29-22-6 with the 5-4 win. But how about those Ducks? 25-24-7. They get a point, and they're still in the hunt. Nobody's running away with things in the West, so they're still in the hunt for a playoff spot. Shots on net, 14-10 Anaheim in the first, 14-6 Detroit in the second, 8-7 Anaheim in the third, 5-0 Detroit in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 36-28 for the Wings. Power plays, Anaheim 0-for-1, Detroit lethal, 3-for-4 on their power play. The hits, 37-28 for the Ducks. Dostal saves 31 out of 36. Lyon, 24 saves on 28 shots. I thought the goaltending was better than the save percentages show there, but you guys can let me know your thoughts. All right, Seattle and Tampa. So it's Stezka against Vasilevsky. Imagine making your NHL debut as a goaltender, and the guy at the other end has got 2 cup rings, and he's going to the Hall of Fame. No pressure. Although it can cause a goaltender to raise his game because you know who you're up against. You kind of want to show him up. So there's a glove save on a rush chance by Stevenson. The Kraken press at 3.5 minutes. The shots are only 2 apiece at 6 minutes. I thought Seattle did a good job of controlling the Tampa attack at during long stretches tonight. Tonight or today? Tonight, sure. Point has a rush chance that's blocked out. Gensel has a rush chance that's held. The Bolts press with 8.5 minutes left. Hedman to Gensel. There's a near miss there. Kraken press with 5 minutes left. The Bolts get some pressure with 1.5 minutes left. It's 0-0 after 1. Second period. Early press by Tampa. Kraken then gets some pressure at 2 minutes. There's a crossbar and out for Gergensons. Shots are 5-3 Seattle at 5.5 minutes. The teams trade rushes. Hagel with a near miss on a 2-on-1 rush. Good forechecking by Seattle. The Kraken would actually draw a power play. However, Tampa scores on it, and it's Hagel scoring shorthanded from McDonough and Lilleberg at 9:27. And then most importantly, Tampa Bay also finishes the kill. So it's 1-0 Tampa at that point. The Kraken press with 8.5 minutes left. Points tonight on a net drive. Shots are 17-8 for Seattle with 3 minutes left. Larson's denied. Vasilevsky holds there. Things get pushy in a hole by Stezka, who honestly at this point is the star of the game. Bolts press to close it out. But yeah, it's 1-0 Tampa after 2 with a rookie goaltender in net for Seattle. Third period, there's a press by the Bolts at 1.5 minutes. Beniers has a turnover chance that's held. Tampa Bay presses at 5 minutes. Alexiak fires one wide as the Kraken get some pressure. The Bolts get pinned down a bit. They do not allow a lot of shots. They block the net pretty well. The shots are 5-3 for Seattle at the half. And at 11:15, Kucherov scores to make it 2-0 from Braden Point. McCann then has a rush chance that's saved, and then the puck goes the other way. At 12:58, Glendening. He scores to make it 3-0. Atkinson and Asimont with the assists. At 15:24, Seattle answers. Wright puts one past the screen to end the shutout bid for Vasilevsky. Montour and Mahura with the assists. Makes it 3-1, so you got to pull the goaltender. The Bolts hit the empty net. but that goal's offside. The next one's not. Nick Paul gets an empty netter from Hagel and Sorelli at 18-14. Tampa Bay wins this one 4-1. Seattle 25-30-4 with the loss. Tampa Bay 32-20-4 with the win. Shots on net, 11-7 Seattle in the first, 18-9 Seattle in the second, 8-7 Seattle in the third. Final shots 37-23 for Seattle. The power plays 0-1 for Seattle, and Tampa Bay never had one. The hits 29-25 for Tampa. Stezka saves 19 out of 22, and Vasilevsky saves 36 out of 37 before I cough. All right. Normally I drink Coke, but they brought back the lime Pepsi no sugar, so I'm like, sure, I'll try that. I haven't had that in a long time. All right, next up, Colorado and St. Louis. Blackwood versus Binnington. They had a nice ceremony before this game for Suter's 1,500th game. I am going to need to cough. Haven't coughed all day. I start a video, and of course it starts up. So yeah, Suter with his 1,500th game. Nice ceremony before the game. Avs press at a minute and a half, but the shots are 2-0 St. Louis at 3 minutes. Kyrou has a rush chance that's blocked. Balduke's then denied on a face-off win, and at 7:48, Taves bats one out of the air into the net. Lehkonen and Makar with the assists. So Colorado with the 1-0 lead. They need this win after last night, of course, and they were playing like it. Walker then flattens Drury. That draws a crowd. Clean hit. We're back into a stage where it feels like now if you throw a clean hit, you got to be ready because everybody's coming after you, but it's a clean hit. Anyways, the Avs press with 9 minutes left. The Blues press with 7.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hole by Binnington, so one from each team goes to the box, makes it 4-on-4. The Blues press with 4.5 minutes left, but Buchnevich has a turnover chance. That's held. Momentum for St. Louis late in the first, but they leave the first period down 1-0 against Colorado in a period that had an even amount of shots, but St. Louis had some chances. Second period, teams exchange early rushes. The Avs press at 2 minutes. Thomas fires one wide as the Blues get some pressure. The teams trade turnovers. Shots are 3-2 Colorado at 7.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Avs. That's killed off, and it seemed to bring up the spirits of St. Louis to kill that off as Shen roofs a rebound from Kyrou and Falk at 10:45, not long after that power play was done, and that ties the game at 1. We get more rush chances exchanged after that. Middlestad has a net drive chance that's saved, and then at 14-13, Parayko buries a rebound and close. Buchnevich and Thomas with the assists. It's 2-1 St. Louis. Blues press for another. Strong forechecking by St. Louis, and eventually they do drive another goal into the net. At 19:50, it's Holloway. Continues his remarkable season. Falk and Kyrou with the assists. It's 3-1 St. Louis after 2. Third period. Early press by the Blues. The Blues get more pressure at 8 minutes. The Avs press at the half. And the shots are 8-4 for the Blues with 9 minutes left. From there on, the Blues didn't get a shot. The Avs press with 8 minutes left. But as many shots as the Avs had, it didn't feel like St. Louis was giving them a lot of the net to look at. Most of the shots, it felt like, were from a distance. And so, yeah, the goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. The Avs are not able to generate a goal. St. Louis wins this one 3-1. They go to 26-26-6 with the win. With the loss, Colorado 33-24-2. This one kind of hurts. Colorado's definitely been trending in the wrong direction. Shots on net, 8 apiece in the first, 9-8 St. Louis in the second, 13-8 Colorado in the third. Final shots 29-25 for the Avs. Power plays, Colorado did not score on their power play, and St. Louis didn't have one. Shots on net, or hits, I should say, 20-18 for St. Louis. Blackwood saves 22 out of 25. Binnington looked pretty good coming out of Four Nations. 28 saves on 29 shots. And as I said about Anaheim, I'll say it again for St. Louis. Nobody's running away with that last playoff spot in the West. We could see a surprise. Absolutely could happen. All right. New Jersey in Nashville against the Nashville Predators. It's Dawes at one end, Annunen at the other. Early jump for the Devils. But we get a power play for Nashville. It was an offensive zone penalty taken by the Devils. Shorthanded near miss for Hamilton. They do kill off that penalty, do the Devils. We get a press by Nashville at the half. The Preds go back to the power play. That's killed off. Shots are 6-4 for New Jersey with 7 minutes left. And at 13:45, Palat buries a cross-crease pass. Luke Hughes and Dougie Hamilton with the assists. Now, for Palat, that's point number 500. And I think they said on that goal it was also Hamilton's 500th point. Either way, pretty good. 1-0 lead. And then Stamkos nearly answers on the next shift. Nico Dawes with one of his many very good stops in this game. Forsberg's denied on a turnover. Evangelista has a net drive chance that's defended. The Devils press with 2 minutes left. Kovacevic has a chance it's held in the final 30 seconds. It's 1-0 New Jersey after 1. Second period, Meyer prevents a goal for the Predators. Nashville presses at 3.5 minutes. The shots are 2 apiece 4 minutes in. Dowling to Mercer, near miss at the net. Then there's a press by Nashville at 8 minutes. Near miss for Svechkov, puck's cleared out. And then Hamilton scores from Hischier and Brad at 9:14 to make it a 2-0 lead for New Jersey. Hischier has a net feed that's picked off. Yossi has a slapper that's saved as Nashville's pressuring, looking to get on the board. Devils press with 6.5 minutes left, and at 14:28, Seamus Casey scores from Luke Hughes and Jack Hughes. Can sign me up. I think Casey needs to stay up this time. I understand that like they sent him down so he could work on his defensive game. Fine, keep him up this time. He's a creative defenseman, and it'd be nice to see him stick around. It's 3-0 New Jersey after 2. Third period, early chances for both sides. Shots are 4-1 Nashville at 3 minutes. We get a power play then for New Jersey, and they score on it. At 5:06, it's Nason from Hischier and Bratt. So Nason continues his career year. The Preds then get a power play. Yossi has a one-timer that's caught and held. Power play's killed off. And then at 9:27, Tatar has one that deflects past the screen into the net. Hischier with the assist as well. It's 5-0 in favor of Nashville. Power play for the Preds, that's killed off. Jack Hughes has a rush chance that's caught and held. Devils press with 2.5 minutes left. Pretty authoritative win for New Jersey. They win 5-0, so the extermination magnet, I should say, is on the board, the Dalek one. New Jersey goes to 32-21-6 with the 5-0 win. Nashville 20-29-7 with the loss. Shots on net, 12-8 New Jersey in the first, 14-8 New Jersey in the second, 13-10 Nashville in the third. Final shots 36-29 for the Devils. Power plays, the Devils scored on the only power play they had. Nashville was 0 for 4. The hits 39-21 for New Jersey. Nico Dawes 29 saves for the shutouts. For the shutout. I have been a very vocal supporter of Dawes throughout his time since he came up the first time. Annanen saves 31 out of 36 in the loss for Nashville. So Dawes, I would also make the argument for he might be about ready for regular action at the NHL level, and maybe that's what we see next year from the Devils. Maybe it'll be Markstrom and Dawes. At any rate, time to go to board number 3. All right, Toronto and Chicago. So it's Wall versus Soderblom. And isn't it amazing that Toronto hasn't won in Chicago in like over 20 years? So early press by the Hawks. In fact, the shots were 4-0 Chicago at 2 minutes. So if you're watching this and going, well, they're not winning this one either. Yeah, I would understand that feeling. More pressure by Chicago at 3.5 minutes. The Leafs then get some pressure at 6.5 minutes. They're having a hard time getting to the net at that stage. The Leafs have a 4-on-2 that's broken up. Then there's a rush by the Hawks that Marner breaks up. Marner gets better and better as a defensive forward. At some point in time, he's going to get like some Selke votes. He's going to be a finalist. I'm not saying he wins it, but people's minds are going to blow up. The Leafs were held to one shot the first half. Domi has a wrister that's held. There's some pushing with 1:38 left. Chicago gets a power play. And at 19:49, Teravainen bats one in from the slot to make it a 1-0 lead for Chicago. Bertuzzi and Donato with the assist. But we know with Chicago, getting a lead means nothing. They get leads all the time. Doesn't mean anything. So second period, Marner fires one wide from the slot. The Leafs press at 2 minutes. There's more pressure by Toronto at 4 minutes. Nylander has a one-timer that's held. The shots on net are 6 apiece, 4.5 minutes in. The Leafs draw a power play, and at 7:09, Robertson scores to tie the game from Domi and McMahon. The Leafs look for a lead. There's post and out for Max Domi. And then at 9:45, McCabe, of all people, gets a goal to make it a 2-1 lead for Toronto. Tanev and Matthews with the assists. The Leafs press with 7.5 minutes left. Then there's a post for Robertson, and that puck just rides the line, does not cross the line. It stays 2-1. The Hawks press with 3.5 minutes left. Maroon has a screenshot that's saved. And then some craziness in the final seconds here. At 19:45, Robertson gets the second of the period. Domi and Lorentz with the assists. And then at 19:53, Kurashev scores from Nazar and Bertuzzi. So you've got to make sure that you're ready, even if there's only 15 seconds left in the period, because Chicago was certainly ready. It makes it 3-2 at that stage for Toronto after 2 periods of play. Third period, there's an early press by Chicago. The Leafs draw a power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that's defended by Marner. Power play was killed off. The Leafs had 3 shots on it. The Hawks press at 5.5 minutes. Martinez has a screenshot that's held. The shots are 4-2 for Toronto at 7 minutes. At 12:07, Tanev with one past a screen from the right circle. McCabe and Kampf with the assists. So McCabe and Tanev with goals. If you have them in your pool, you're probably losing. The Hawks press to respond. The goalie pull happens with 4:28 left. Bedard has a one-timer that's held. There's an empty net goal that's challenged for offside. It took forever to review this. Did he touch up? Did he not? Did he touch up before he touched the puck? If you got to go over it for like 20 minutes, just let it count. At 18:28, it does count. So the Boo Birds were out because the Leafs come out of that with a power play. Nylander, even watching it, it seemed like he didn't think he had tagged up. Anyways, Holmberg scores from Nylander and Tavares. That makes it 5-2. The Leafs end the game on the power play. Your final score is 5-2. The Leafs go to 35-20-2 with the win, and they move into first place in the division. Chicago 17-33-7. The misery continues. Shots on net, 10-6 Chicago in the first, 17-10 Toronto in the second. Both teams had 7 shots in the third. Final shots 30-27 for Toronto. Power plays, Toronto 1 for 3. Chicago scored on the only power play they had. The hits 19-16 Toronto. Wall saves 25 out of 27. Soderblom, rough night, and his win-loss record's just awful. 25 saves on 29 shots. I'd like to see Soderblom go to a team where he can get some wins and fix that win-loss record, because he's not going to get those wins playing for Chicago. All right, next up. Dallas and the Islanders. So Ottinger versus Sorokin. There's a near miss for Duchesne in close. And then at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, again from in close, Steele buries a rebound. Beck and Ceci with the assists. It's 1-0 Dallas. The shots are 3-2 for the Stars at 5 minutes. Palmieri has a net drive where he loses the handle on it. Marchment's denied on a chance where the Islanders clear right after. Stars press at 9 minutes. Duchesne to Marchment. Near miss there. We get a power play for Dallas. Pulock prevents a goal during that power play for Dallas, and that is killed off. Shots are 9-6 for Dallas with 5 minutes left, and they have a 1-0 lead after the first. Second period, Horvat has a net feed the stick to side. Blackwell couldn't bury one in close, and then at 3:44, Engvall scores to tie the game. McLean and Gatcombe with the assists. Bork then has a net feed that's caught and held. Gatcombe has a rush chance that's defended. Shots are 6-5 for the Islanders at 7 minutes. And then on a turnover at 8:48, Robertson buries one from the slot. Hintz and Bork with the assists there. So Dallas gets the lead back for that long. 7 seconds later, Palmieri answers on the rush. D'Angelo and Nelson with the assists at 8:55. So the Islanders make it 2-2. Islanders press with 6.5 minutes left. We had a fight between Dumba and Cizikas after a hit by Cizikas on Bischel. They initially called it as 5 minutes. It's reviewed, and yeah, it's a 5-minute call. Now, I'm a Dallas fan. People know I'm a Dallas fan. I was very surprised they kept that at 5. I didn't think that should have been a 5. So I don't expect anything from Department of Player Safety. I thought I could see 2. I didn't think that was worthy of a 5. Bischel was out for the game, though. The first 2 minutes are 4-on-4 because Dumba got the instigator penalty, I believe. And then the Stars with a 3-minute power play on the other end. So at 15:52... Robertson scores from Hintz and Duchesne. This is where you're into the power play on the other end, just barely. And then at 17:28, Robertson buries a rebound for the hat trick in the second period as well. Johnston and Duchesne with the assist. Now, I don't think it's officially a natural hat trick because there's an Islanders goal in the middle, but if you just count Dallas goals, that's a natural Dallas hat trick. Anyways, so yeah, that makes it 4-2, and I was kind of in agreement with the Islanders broadcast that maybe it shouldn't have been, a 5-minute at the very least. So there's too many Stars on the ice towards the end of the power play. You get 2 seconds of 4-on-4. In the end, you have 26 seconds of a power play left for the Islanders to start the third period, where they're down by 2. The Stars finish the kill. The Islanders press after it ends. Holmstrom has a net feed that's held. The shots are 3-1 for Dallas at 4 minutes. Stars press at 7.5 minutes, and then the Islanders start taking over. Nelson has a wrister on a rush that's held. And then at 9:17, Duclair buries his own rebound in the net. Horvat with the assist, and it's just all hands on deck at that point for the Islanders. The Islanders press with 6 minutes left. The Islanders tie it. It's waved off for goalie interference. Yeah. Now the argument's going to be, well, the Dallas defenseman's in the crease. Yeah, but so's the forward for the Islanders. He's in the crease. If the Dallas defenseman leaves an Islanders forward in the crease, he's not a very good defenseman. So, at any rate, that was waved off. The Stars, it felt like were a step slower, and then they'd take a penalty as well. So the goalie pull happens to make it a 6-on-4. Dallas does kill that off, and then the Islanders ice the puck with 1:02 left. So takes them a while to get the goalie out again. The Stars would ice the puck with 7 seconds left, but they hold on. By the skin of their teeth, but they hold on. It's a 4-3 win for Dallas. They go to 37-18-2, so they won in New Jersey, and they won on Long Island against the Islanders, whereas the Islanders dropped to 25-24-7. Tough result for the Islanders. They probably deserved a better fate tonight. I will fully admit that. Shots on net, 9-8 Dallas in the first, 18-15 Islanders in the second, 11-5 Islanders in the third. Final shots, 37-29 for the Islanders. Power plays, Dallas 2 for 4. The Islanders 0 for 2. The hits, 28-10 for the Islanders. Ottinger, 34 saves on 37 shots. Sorokin, 25 saves on 29 shots. And Ottinger earned his pay in the second and third period tonight. The Islanders, lots of good chances for them. All right, next up, San Jose and Calgary. Georgiev versus Wolf, early jump for the Flames, but at 3:41, Macklin Celebrini scores. Toffoli and Wallman with the assist. The shots are 2 apiece, 4.5 minutes in. The Flames press at 5.5 minutes. The Sharks block. Sharks press at 6.5 minutes, but now the Flames keep them to the outside. We then get a power play for Calgary, and they score on it. Kadri buries one from the slot at 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Frost and Weegar with the assists, so Morgan Frost continuing to produce in his time with Calgary. We get a power play for the Sharks. That's killed off. The Sharks press with 8 minutes left. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off as well. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period. The Flames press at 1.5 minutes, but the only shot on net belongs to the Sharks 3 minutes in. And then at 3:35, Rooney buries a rebound from in close. Lomberg and Pospisil with the assists, so the bottom 6 produce, and you have a 2-1 lead for Calgary. Wolf then robs Will Smith on a fast break, and it's not the only time he did that in that second period. Will Smith is so dangerous, and Wolf was very good at neutralizing him tonight. We get a crossbar and out for Zetterlund. Farabee has a net drive chance that's defended. The Sharks press at 9.5 minutes. Kadri's denied on a turnover. Flames press with 9 minutes left. We get a power play for the Sharks. That's killed off. Cunning's denied as the Sharks get some pressure. We get a post for Coronado. Frost has a wrister that's held on a nice pass with 1:02 left. The Flames get a power play. So that rolls over into the third period. The Flames ahead 2-1, but the Sharks finish the kill early in the third, and then at 1:54, Toffoli roofs his own rebound to tie the game. Eklund and Mahatmadulin on the board. Mahatmadulin, and I forgot the D at the end of Eklund because I was so worried about getting Mahatmadulin to fit, and you know what? If I had the D in there for Eklund, it wouldn't have fit. So I made the right call. It's Eklund now. The D's gone. It's gone. So the teams then trade rushes. The Flames press at 4 minutes. Eklund fires one wide on a rush. The D's back. The shots are 4-3 Calgary at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for Calgary, which becomes 5 seconds of 4-on-4. During the power play on the other side for San Jose, a post for Celebrini. That close, but everything gets killed off. Sharks press with 8.5 minutes left. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. And during the 4-on-4, Hanley gets his first goal in 32 games. Huberdeau and Kadri with the assists at 13:28. He roofed it from the slot. Looks like he belongs there. So that makes it 3-2 for Calgary. The Flames press with 3.5 minutes left. With 2:56 left, the Flames get a power play. That's killed off. And then with 48.4 seconds left, the Flames get another power play. The Sharks would pull the goalie for 5-on-5, and they generated some opportunities, but the Flames win this one 3-2. Big win for them. They get closer to the playoff line. They go to 27-21-8 with the win. With the loss, San Jose 15-36-7 on the season. Shots on net, 14-8 Calgary in the first, 13 apiece in the second, 9-8 Calgary in the third. Final shots 36-29 for the Flames. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 3, Calgary 1 for 6. The hits, 23-22 Calgary. Georgiev, 33 saves on 36 shots, and Wolf, 27 saves on 29 shots. All right, and last game on the board, Vancouver and Utah. Last game of the day. So Vancouver, the creativity seems to be gone again, and this has been a problem for them before. So it's Shilovs versus Vejmelka. We get a power play for Utah. It's Tyler Myers off to the box. He's been having penalty trouble this weekend. That was killed off, but the shots are 4-0 Utah at 5 minutes. The teams trade turnovers. Vancouver gets a power play. That's killed off. Utah gets a power play that's killed off. And then Utah gets a third power play of the first period, which is killed off as well. Most of that first period was special teams, meaning Brock Besser doesn't get a lot of ice time, which gets mentioned frequently. So, second period, early power play for the Canucks, and they score on it. 1:43, DeBrus puts it through Vejmelka for his 15th road goal of the season. Pettersson and Suter with the assists, and it's Elias, the forward Pettersson, who has the assist there. And I thought he had a decent game, but I understand the criticisms out there. It's 1-0 Vancouver at that stage. Utah presses to respond, and they do at 3:51. On a face-off win, Cooley deflects one in. Marino and Keller with the assists. The shots are 7-2 for Utah at 7.5 minutes. So pressed by Utah at 8.5 minutes, and honestly, they're in full control at this point in the game. Hronek has a rush chance that's blocked out. Utah presses with 9 minutes left. Mata has a slapper that's held. The Canucks go back to the power play. That's killed off. It's 1-1 after 2 because Shilovs is having the best game he's had all season, and it's not close. Third period. Early Canucks press are kept to the outside. Cole has a shot that's saved as Utah gets some pressure. We get a power play for Vancouver. Hedl has a slot shot that's held. DeBrus couldn't jam one in during that power play either. Utah kills that off. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The shots are 4 apiece, 8 minutes into the period. The teams trade turnovers. Utah presses at the half, and you could feel the momentum starting to build for Utah. Pettersson fires one high on a fast break. He was trying to get it over the, I believe, blocker side on Vejmelka and just put it over the net. He was talking to himself when he got back to the bench. So he's aware he hasn't scored a goal in a while. He's probably a little bit down on himself at this point. Doan then has a fast break chance that's held, and I thought Shilovs was going to go right into the net, and that was going to be a goal, to be honest, because he was sliding back, and I'm like, okay, that enough sliding. Then we get a power play for Utah, and they score on it. Dylan Guenther, it's a shame the Canucks never had a chance to draft him. Guenther scores from Schmaltz and Keller at 14:07, makes it 2-1 for Utah. Utah presses for another. Hayden is denied on a rush. The Canucks press with 2.5 minutes left. They would pull the goalie with 1 minute and 41 seconds left. They are unable to generate the tying goal. So it's a 2-1 win for Utah, so the chess magnet is on the board for a chess match. Utah goes to 25-24-9. They do not catch up to Calgary at all, but they do catch up to Vancouver a little bit, and that's the team above the playoff line. Vancouver drops to 26-20-11. They've lost 2 games in 2 days, and they've scored 1 goal in both games. Again, the creativity just seems to be a problem for them when they're struggling. Shots on net, 11-4 for Utah in the first and in the second period as well. And then Utah outshoots Vancouver 10-7 in the third. They outshot Vancouver 32-15 for Utah. I know Vancouver was on a back-to-back. So's Utah. The power plays, both teams go 1 for 4 on the power play. The hits 25-19 for Vancouver. Shilovs, 30 saves on 32 shots. Easily his best start of the season. Vejmelka saves 14 out of 15. He was not busy. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. So 24 games played this weekend. The NHL's keeping me busy. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will talk to you again soon.